Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th. So don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you. Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Register.
All right, Grenada, Carriacou, Pity Matt, the rest of the world in the studios. It's 4 minutes after 7 o'clock. We now join forecaster Cassia Johnson at the forecast desk at the Morris Bishop International Airport for the weather forecast. Good morning, Cassia.
Good morning to you and good morning to the listeners. Here is the weather for today, Thursday, 1st May 2025. Currently at the airport, conditions are fair and hazy. Winds are from the east at 12 miles per hour. Pressure 1012.3 millibars, which is below normal and rising. Present temperature 27.9 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 80%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.4 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature last night 26.1 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, there was no rainfall at the airport. Hence, the total for April is 59.9 millimeters. Looking at the public forecast valid for today and tonight, the weather is expected to be generally fair and hazy with a low chance of few brief isolated showers. Today's maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. Tides are currently falling and will be low at 12:30 p.m., high at 6:30 p.m. Sunset today 6:21, sunrise tomorrow 5:46. Again, the weather is expected to be generally fair and hazy with a low chance of few brief isolated showers. From the Met Office, I am Cassia Johnson.
Cassie, before you run off, a quick question. We're getting closer to the hurricane season and what we call the rainy season. From your forecast, your extensive forecast, do you see much rain coming in May?
Well, we don't have the forecast for the hurricane season as yet, and in previous years we have been seeing that the rain has been starting earlier and earlier, so we can expect some showers in May.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Cassie. Have yourself a great day and enjoy your Labor Day celebrations today.
Thank you, same to you.
All right. Folks, that was the weather forecast. It came to you with the kind compliments of Renwick and Thompson Company Limited.
Get money when you want, almost anywhere you want, send money over with Western Union.
This is Woo, oh, oh, oh. This is Woo. It's Western Union. Send to your friends and your family. With Western Union, we're moving money. No matter where you are, you are never far.
Get money when you want, almost anywhere you want, send money over.
Move it for better.
Western Union, moving money for better. Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battle. ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th, so don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you. Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up the puddles and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th, so don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you there.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the protecting largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. We captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. To the dusty highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Need to upgrade your home? Give new arrivals in dining. Plus, buy more and save more on bedroom sets and get an additional 10% on credit purchases of any bedroom set. Want quality products that provide the best prices backed by full warranty? We've got you. Plus, shop today and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Farmers. Grenadian.
is Richard Stevens, representing right now for GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network. This is where it's at. To God be the glory, great things he has done. His love and protection as sure as the sun. My faith in my Father way stronger than man. No way.
transmissions. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, let the people rejoice.
All right, viewers and listeners, it's now 13 minutes after 7 o'clock, and welcome to the conversation for this holiday Thursday. It's Thursday, the first day of May 2025, and of course, I couldn't afford to not be in engagement with you this morning on such a very important day. And the conversation I want us to have this morning, that's if you're so inclined to talk with me this morning, I want us to center around the May Day, or which we call Labor Day. And historically, I pulled some information, and it says May Day is observed on May 1st in many countries. Now, on this day in 1889, an international group of socialist organizations and trade unions chose May 1st as a day to support workers. This was in memory of the Haymarket riot in Chicago in 1866, where a bomb blast killed 7 police officers and at least 4 civilians. All right, that's from the University of Google, right? Okay, at the American Federation of Labor's 1884 convention, delegates adopted a resolution urging all workers to strike 2 years later on May 1st, 1886. And on that day, more than 340,000 workers took part in national actions in support of an 8-hour day. These are all historic data information on May Day. Now, what event does May Day commemorate? In 1889, May 1st was designated as May Day, a day in support of workers by an international federation of socialist groups and trade unions in commemoration of the Haymarket Affair, a violent confrontation that took place on 4th May 1886 in Chicago, Illinois. All right, so that's the overview of where this May Day thing came about. All right, and for us here in Grenada, I remembered, in 1989 when I started teaching. First time I've been to a May Day celebrations. I didn't even know that there was a celebrations like that, but nonetheless, and it was really a happy and fun time. At those times, young teachers like myself, LL, that's Lyndon Lewis, Wayne Maxwell, Lyndon Farry, that whole clique. We were more interested in the social, well, for me, I was more interested in the social aspect of it, not listening so much to the messages that were being presented by the union leaders and so forth. I remember it was, all about heading to Fantasia and the music playing, and But as time progressed, to get to realize that the May Day was much more significant than that, in that it was a sort of solidarity day, and union leaders would come and speak on the plight of the workers and the labor climate in the country and so forth. So I know people look forward to that. Of course, it's a big day when people get to see people that they haven't seen in a long time, because maybe of demographics. We were to school together, but now you live in Sates and I live in Point Saline, and we don't get to see regularly. work has us so busy. So Labor Day, May Day, everybody look to converge in this one location so that we can reignite old fires, and a lot of marriages are created there and so forth. So hopefully I will get 2 telephone calls this morning. I tried reaching out to the Labor Minister as well. I believe she will get back to us. But I want to hear from you, if you're so inclined. Call in 435-2041 and tell us what Labor Day really means to you. And if you want, you can, if you're a worker or an employer, an employee or employer, what are you expecting today? I wish to hear from Ms. Daisy Hazard as her first May Day as the leader of a union, how she's going into this. So what does May Day really mean to you? Give me a call and let's have a conversation. 435-2041. I know some folks might still be in bed. We do have a call already. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, morning, Innocent.
Welcome
to the program. To your listeners and viewers. Has there been a sort of little pause for people calling and decide to call? But for me, Labor Day used to be after emancipation, the most important day in the calendar year for me.
Labor Day is the most important day after emancipation.
It used to be.
It used to be. Okay, all right.
Well, I can't say because I don't really participate now because of, I'm older now, I'm not so strong and so on. But these are 2 days I look forward religiously. None of the other time. I mean, maybe the next one in line was Carnival. So it's labor, emancipation, labor, and something to do with Carnival. Okay. Anyway. But I used to be a banner bearer for the TUC on Labor Day for a number of years. If I was not, I was also a banner bearer for Bank and General Workers Union. Okay. Even when I was worked short period with the government, I marched with the Bank and General Workers Union. For some reason, I felt more connected to that group of workers. That time, Derek Allard, the late Derek Allard, was the president. And then, of course, we were close colleagues. He was the first General Secretary of Friends of the Earth, Grenada. But I think in terms of labor, but we need to also, you give the historic thing from an international point of view. But we should have some perspective on the Grenada and the Caribbean. And we must mention people like Tubas, Buzz, Butler. Of course, there are others, but I think the Grenadian spirit, the African spirit in Butler, that ignites the energy of workers in Trinidad, particularly in the South. And of course, recently, the unions, at least 2 unions in Trinidad, played a pivotal role in the return of the UNC. There were 2 labor candidates that aligned itself with the UNC and ensuring that UNC wins. The Oilfield Workers Union and the Oilfield Workers Union, Trade Union of Trinidad, and the other one that is not coming to mind right now.
Okay.
So we need to have those perspectives. Things pick up steam in Grenada in the 50s with the people, late 40s, particularly in the 50s with Eric Gary. We must, as a trade unionist, we can leave out Gary. We could have challenges with his political engagement, but from a union leader point of view, he must be considered. People like Eric Pierre, unfortunately, some of the other names are not coming easily right now for me. But Grenada, in fact, Grenada up to now is the only country that has a unified trade union organization in terms of the TUC, GTUC. I'm told I was on Legalized on Sunday, and a former person in the labor informed the gathering that Dominica have just instituted their unified group. Trinidad have different section, Antigua, all of them, they have sectionized organization rather unified. Grenada has to be commended. And of course, we are now, Andrew Lewis is the president or the head of the Caribbean Labor Congress. Chester was one time, and there are many other Grenadians who have played an outstanding role in the labor movement. Unfortunately, and I know I can't say for the whole morning, but one of the things that weakened trade union is the attempt to contract out workers. And of course, what happened with the public service where with all the IMF program we have had, and also the attempt to weaken the union by contracting out within the previous NNP, from the long time ago. And then the new workers like yourself and so on, I don't know if you got the proper orientation on the value of the union and the union. In fact, there's a song, if you could play it, Solidarity Forever. If you can't find it, I could try and get a link for you, but look for it, and Solidarity Forever.
Okay.
It's one of a universal labor song. Thank you very much. If ever I may come back and give a little.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, folks. It's 23 minutes after 7 o'clock, and all right, let's go back to the telephone line. I'm expecting President of TAU, Andrew Lewis, to call in. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Innocence.
Hi.
Solidarity forever.
Yes.
For the union make us strong. Today I want to salute all of the workers of Grenada and the world over, all of the union leaders and those who have worked tirelessly so that workers can have an 8-hour day working period. And to all of the workers as you go out and celebrate, have fun. To the union who contribute to the welfare of our people, CIWU, I salute you. Public workers, I really do salute you. And I do hope that you look forward to a good day as we go out and celebrate and have fun. And just remember those who have died on the way fighting for our cause. Have a great day, Innocent. I thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a good one. Is that the song we're talking about? Folks, it's 25 minutes after 7.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Is there aught we hold in common with the greedy parasite who would lash us into serfdom and would crush us with his might? Is there anything left to us but to organize and fight? For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Never heard this.
Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. It is we who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. We stand outcast and starve amidst the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever.
I hope that is the correct version. I'm seeing so many different versions of it.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. All the world that's owned by idle drones is ours and ours alone.
All right, while we listen to the song, you are invited to call in and share your experience or experiences as it pertains to the Labor Day celebrations in Grenada. 435-2041.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. world, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever.
That's a nice song. That's a Liberty song.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. In our hands is placed a power greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of armies magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
Lovely song indeed. Folks, it's 28 minutes after 7 o'clock. We take a commercial break. Hopefully when we get back, I should have Mr. Andre Lewis on the telephone line. Don't you go anywhere.
Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products to make both new installations and maintenance a breeze. Our shelves are stocked with top quality products including pressure and waste fittings. And if you've been struggling with blocked drains, have you heard of Melt? This powerful drain-on-blocker liquid is a game changer, designed to prevent and clear blockages, making it ideal for hairdressers dealing with clogged wash sinks. We also carry a wide selection of repair kits and replacement parts to bring new life to all plumbing fixtures. Visit us today on the Woodlands Main Road or call 444-1377 for expert advice, top-notch products, and a warm welcome. At the Supply Store, we do everything plumbing.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all. Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. We're talking Labor Day celebrations. This is another version of Solidarity Forever.
Solidarity forever.
Okay, so you can call in. I've been on the phone with Mr. Lewis. He will be calling in just about 5 or so minutes. Because of his location at the moment, it would not be prudent for him to call now, but he's going to call in the next 5 minutes or so. And I expect Miss Daisy Hazard. I've been trying to reach Jude Bartholomew, but unfortunately I'm not getting a hold of him.
Feeble strength of one, but the union makes us strong.
Want to reach out and say good morning to family. Miss Jean Isaac out there in Mount Carmel. All right. Good morning to you and Randy and Udin and everybody. Always locked on to Classic. Good morning. It's always a pleasure to have you on board with us. You know your family, right? Yeah, Randy and I family, man. So yeah, folks, my mind told me that today people wouldn't be so interested in calling, but nonetheless, those of you who are, inclined, please do so. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Hi, welcome to the program, man. How you doing?
I'm all right.
The mango ready?
Well, what I would say, look, as this year the harvest going to be great, but the laborers might be through. I know, but it's looking so.
All right.
Because of the flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, what I want to talk about, well, I was small at that time, but what I learned from my granny, the biggest labor protest we ever had in Grenada was with Mr. Gary in 1951. That caused this burning and the striking and all this thing. That the 51 protest for the labor and for the people, the lower class of people and so. And what really sparked it is because the British had arrested Mr. Gary, put him on the Devonshire, that's a bottle ship, took him to Carriacou. And when the people got to know what was going on, the people themselves started to revolt. He didn't say anything. The people knew they wanted Sir Eric. And my grandmother told me, in those days that mostly men go to work, women stay home, they cook food, and then they bring for their husband wherever they're working in this container or basket. So what they did, all women, they planned that they're going to put a lot of stone in the basket and go down to town, cover up nicely with your towel, nice towel, like if you're bringing lunch for your husband or what. And that is where the things start. From the time they reach, all the women go down with the stone in basket and they start.
Why did they go with the stones in the basket?
At that time, there are no guns to fire to people, no guns to fire with the soldiers, with the British people and fight. So that was our ammunition in the days.
Okay.
And then no, it turned from gun to when you have machete, the chopping like the bigger people, cows and and all these things, and then the fire starts. So that is one of the biggest labor protests with Sir Eric in 1951 strike when the Devonshire, they had to bring him back in 3 days. The people bring him back to Grenada.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that you share that piece of history with me. I'm going to do some research and find out about that. With Eric Matthew Gary being arrested by the British, that's something I didn't know about, honestly.
Yeah, man, he was arrested and taken. I got the name from my grandmother. Devonshire was the name of the bottle ship. They took him to Carriacou, and in 3 days they had to bring him back immediately because the people revolt, and he didn't order it, but because the people know what he's fighting for and what the improvement that he's making for them, they come together with no arms, because in them times, if the closest gun you might have is one of the what do you call it, scatter shot, one shot, and that type of gun we're talking about.
That is tree?
Yeah, no. No, it's a scatter shot. It carry a red bullet.
Okay.
And when you fire it, several little pellets come out. So the 303 coming in the 70s with the strike with the same Gary and what you call Bloody Monday and them kind of things.
Okay.
73 strike.
All right.
Yeah, but if you're interested in history, I could always come down with some history, because I tell you what, like I knew my great-grandmother and I grew with my grandmother.
Okay.
So then, therefore, I know things that I learned from my great-grandmother, what her mother knew.
Okay.
And then what her knew. And then I learned from my grandmother.
Okay.
So there's a lot of history I know, but people nowadays we don't like it. You see, just like what the guy just explained to you with the song, and you find it was a little nice.
Yeah.
So even in the chorus, the people have making the songs in these strikes and these protests. They're making up songs.
Okay.
Let me get a little one. You ever hear this one? Gary bring Hilda, and Hilda bring Peter. Hilda says she's splitting, but Gary still shitting. That was the 73 one. Make up things, man.
Okay.
And the Joel one had make the 7 sign of the cross in the station. That Joel go dead.
Oh my goodness.
All kind of protest songs.
You have it locked and packed, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks. Solidarity forever. It's 23 minutes on to the 8 o'clock hour. I want to reach out and say good morning to my online listeners and viewers. Arnold Grant is there. Mildred, of course, is with me. Spice Quinn, how you doing? And Joyous James is with us. Marilyn Gilbert. Bad people, thanks for the history. Okay, all right. 435-2041. As we go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Innocent. How are you?
I am alive and so thankful. How about you?
I'm there. Very quiet morning.
All right. You're on your way to St. Mark?
No, I'm not going there. Why do you think?
A man like you, man. A man like you.
Innocent, Labor Day is not what it used to be before.
Okay.
You'll find much people going to the line later where you have the food and the drinks. But where you have that ceremony where they're marching and all of that, you wouldn't find much people going there. But that is the aspect of it that has changed drastically.
What I know, there's a march past competition as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but when I was growing up, those things used to be big. Labor Day used to be big. I mean, almost all workers used to go out and be part of that march and for the speeches and all of that. But that has dwindled almost to nothing. There are some militant persons that continue to go, teachers and some others that continue to be there, but that has since lost its sting. The big lamb, as I say, is where the food and the drinks is later on.
Well, I have to be honest. That is what, to be very honest, that is what I enjoyed about Labor Day when I just joined teaching. You know, I couldn't care less about who spoke and who talked and whatever. I believe
that is why I didn't know the song. But they always sing that song.
Well, could be. My thing is, I want to know what time we're reaching in Fantasia. You know.
But on a note with the unions, I would like for it to be much more consistent in what they do, as it relates to the enhancement of not just the worker, the employers, those people who employ them.
Right.
I know some work has been done, but I don't think sufficient, and the consistency of it in terms of there are some workers, they put it plainly, they play the fool. They don't produce, they're just lackadaisical, and the union, in my view, does not have that consistent program where you inform workers of the importance of producing, the link between the production and the salary increases and all of those things. This is something I think the union, and I know when Andre comes, he will say that has been happening. Okay. But as I say, the consistency of it is not there. And I think a lot of workers, they lose out on that. Some of them play the fool, and when they are fired, they go back to the union. And the union, I know, as a matter, this is not what people say to me. They just know, the union people just know that some of the workers deserve to go. Right. But they're fighting hell hard to keep them on for whatever reason. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, so that aspect of it, because we have to be fair to each other. When you're wrong, you're wrong. The employer could say, well, look, fine, I will concede and take you back for whatever reasons, on conditions, whatever. But the union does make some demands sometimes. I've been in a situation where I've heard some demands made from some union people. It's crazy, ridiculously crazy. So that is what I would like to see improve as it relates to the union and the Labor Day sort of.
Okay.
In terms of encouraging the workers to be more productive.
Right. Yeah. Make it in biology we say a symbiotic relationship where both parties benefit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both parties, not just one side. You just the salary and your job and blah blah. But what about the production side of it? Where that is where the money will come to pay you anyway.
You have to make the money to get the money.
Precisely.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one. Your breadfruit up there?
I have one in the fridge. I have to do something with it today. So, I mean.
You're making porridge?
Yeah, I have something for you, though. I ain't going to tell you what it is over on the air. I have something for you.
Okay, well, all right.
I have something for you. Don't worry. You'll be pleased when you get it. You'll be pleased. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. Have a good one.
Okay, my brother.
Thanks. Blessings. Okay, good, man. All right. Good morning to my good friend Oswald Paley Dabo, HMS Devonshire, the British battleship. Okay. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the program.
Okay. The previous caller, when you talk about the Avenger, what he was speaking about was Skyred.
Skyred?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Do you know that Bishop come and overthrew Gary? You know, Gary was Bishop Godfather.
Really?
Of course. Bishop, he was in
Aruba
when Bishop born, because he and Bishop Father was good friends.
Okay.
And Gary Bishop invite Gary to come to his son christening, and Gary was the Godfather.
Really? That's why they say the louse on your head that does bite you, eh? Okay. Boy, this morning is my learning day. Well, I learn something new every day, but I didn't even know that. Gary was Bishop's godfather. Okay.
Gary was good at Bishop Godfather.
So all Morris had to do was say, "Hey, Godfather, step aside and give me the thing now." You understand what I'm saying?
He would not do that.
Okay.
He was greedy for power.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for the information. All right.
Okay.
And enjoy your Labor Day. All right, good. That's a good piece of news. Okay, folks, let us take a commercial break, and hopefully we'll have Andre on the line after that.
Hey GBN family, we've got a brand new home on Facebook and you need to be there. Follow us now on Facebook at Grenada Broadcasting Network -GBN. Stay updated with the latest news, sports, entertainment, and everything Grenada. Don't miss out. Like, follow, and share. Grenada Broadcasting Network. Stay informed, stay ahead. First with the news, fast with the updates.
Like a freestyle, the life blood flowing mile by mile. It's legacy, a beat that don't stop like Bob Marley said. One love on top, the sewage water out of sight, but it's always wrong, don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep, cut off mangroves and fish they weep. Green water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We used to water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answers always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same beat.
That the
you got the heat. Water flow. No clean water, no pipes to grow. Protect our water, protect our future.
Time to go.
I try to not speak about climate change anymore because
change kind of gives you the impression that it's gradual. You know, when you hear change, you think it's happening gradually, but we're in the middle of a climate crisis, a full-blown climate crisis. So yes, the climate has changed, and I think it's a little deceptive for us to continue referring to climate change because it probably gives people a false sense of security that we have time to deal with this. So what can we do about it? And 2 years ago, the United Nations said that the right to a healthy and clean and sustainable environment is a human right. So if the right to a healthy, clean and sustainable environment is a human right, and there are countries and companies that are imperiling that right to a healthy, clean and sustainable environment, then they are infringing on our human rights. So that's where climate justice comes in.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Yo, Shaggy, one up every time. Grenada, GBN, salute.
Select a play the big tune ya for me. Right back till the morning. Hey, turn up the music, make it rock and come in.
Learn how local developers
Well, crowd of people follow the place and sound string up na the lawn. Dance catch a fire when the big tune turn on.
have changed.
I think nutrition is an integral part of managing many of the diseases that we see manifesting here in our region. If we don't make food our medicine, medicine will eventually become our food.
We're trying to focus on reading food labels because reading food labels, it's also another important factor in making sure that we as persons choose healthier food options.
Join us on Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners. I'm happy to have on the phone line with me at this time the president of the Public Workers Union, Ms. Daisy Hazard. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Innocent, and good morning to all of Grenada, wherever you are. This morning, we're very happy and excited. We're tired because preparing for May Day is like preparing for a positive mini carnival, but we're in great spirit.
Okay, so I know that you've been around the labor movement for eons now, but
not eons, only 6 years.
That is long.
Yeah, some people say that's long.
That is long. And I mean, yes. that kind of work, you have to multiply every year by 5, eh?
By 5 years, absolutely.
Because the amount of work that you're doing, you know.
Yes.
But it's your first time, however, going into the day's celebration as the president of a union, and that of one of the most powerful unions on the island. What's the feeling like this morning? What can we expect from Daisy?
May Day is a day where typically trade unions and trade unionists are militant, and so there will be some militancy. But I really think in 2025, we're talking about how we're shaping the Grenada that we all want to see, how we're working and uniting together to build a Grenada and to build the economies that can withstand the challenges that we're seeing globally. We only have 5 to 7 minutes each to speak as president, and I intend to honor that in respect of all of my colleagues. And so definitely my speech will not be a very long speech, and there is not much that you can really go in depth into in 5 to 7 minutes, but those are going to be the touch points. That union really wants to work with government, that we want a kind of a dialogue that is responsible and that can stand up socially on both sides, and that is the framework from within which, of course, we are going to be touching on the issues, and there are burning issues like sick buildings that our workers are working in and getting sick. And that cannot suffice at all. And so basically that's what Mayday will be hearing from the PWU, from myself as president today.
And I'm certain that your union members, they've given you the mandate to speak on their behalf. Let me ask this. In your opinion, being around the movement for a while, what would you say comparatively is the labor atmosphere in Grenada at the moment?
On the surface of it, it would appear that we have a very peaceful labor atmosphere. And I think in general, we always have a peaceful labor atmosphere in Grenada because we are peaceful people. We are people even when things are very toxic and when things are very challenging, we still manage to find a smile and to be peaceful. And certainly in the last 2.5 years, I believe this administration has done a tremendous amount of work in normalizing some things within the labor sector that was outstanding for quite a while. But even on the surface of that apparent calm, there's a lot of tension and a lot of friction in other areas, like the aspect of statutorization, where information is not as forthcoming as it should be. Workers feel under threat. Workers feel undervalued. The aspect of regularization and what that looks like in the face of workers wanting to be able to access a 1958 pension vis-a-vis the pension reform that is now present. And so those are some of the tensions and those are some of the variances that that would say that all is not as well as it ought to be.
One of my contributors earlier in the program said that he thinks that unions need to expel some more energies in consulting with the employees and ensuring that they do give an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. Have you taken that perspective?
You see, we like to play too many games in Grenada, and I want to call a spade a spade. The function of productivity, management is a function of productivity. That's the role of managers. And so if people believe that workers are not performing or not producing as they ought to, it's not the unions that has to be looked at, because that is not the platform of our advocacy. The productivity is a function of management. And so the question is, let's say the public service, for instance, where are all those managers that you have graduated into places, that you have helicoptered into management positions without benefit of an interview, in many cases with no merit whatsoever? Ask them about performance. Speak to them about productivity. Speak to the administration about the people that they have put in place to manage and run the public sector if we want to talk about productivity. Of course, as a trade unionist, I have said that productivity is important for me, because I want to represent a cadre and men of women that can hold their heads up and can be proud to say, I am doing my part and I'm ensuring that I build Grenada. But to want to put productivity as a function of union, that is absurd and that is totally wrong. That goes back to management and employers.
Another concern that was raised is that there are times when, for example, when there's a labor dispute and a worker gets fired or terminated, one of the callers said sometimes the union knows that that person is deserving of that action, but the union will still fight to get them reinstated. What do you say to that?
That's the role and the job of unions. And many times unions have to admit and accept my worker is wrong. But the role of unions is to represent and to advocate for workers. The role of unions is to safeguard and promote jobs and livelihoods. And it's just, let's take a simple example. If a person has committed or is alleged to have committed a crime, nobody just sits back and say he's guilty. The society allows him due process. The society allows him a day in court, his moment to explain himself, and a lawyer. And basically, that's the role and function of a union. So it's very absurd, again, when the public criticize the union for doing the very thing that it exists to do. And yes, workers are not always right. But even when a worker is wrong, the union has a responsibility to fight for that worker and to try to fight for his job, even in accepting and acknowledging. And we do that all the time because sometimes that's the only thing you can say to the employer. The worker is wrong. Now, how can we attempt to keep him on? Has he always been wrong? Is he a good worker? Is he a productive worker? Can you give him a second chance? That's the role of unions, and that should not be criticized. That should be celebrated.
Okay, wow, I like that perspective. Yeah, it's like a legal counsel, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like that perspective. So generally speaking, I know you're busy, and I don't want you getting up to St. Mark late. So yeah, I know. I know. Where would your union be hosting their social activity today?
Right. We all understand that Victoria is small and 7 unions are converging on the parish of St. Mark today. And so the PWU had to go down back to St. John's to the St. Peter's Archie School. That's a school in Guava, just off the little bridge off the main road. That's where we are going to be having our afterfit. But all unions will be in St. Mark's today in Waltham, marching on to Aston George Park to celebrate and commemorate May Day.
Okay, so do you think PWU, that's your union, right?
That's my union, yes.
Do you think you can beat us in the march past GUT?
Well, we have done it for many years. We presently hold a trophy, and we will be retaining that trophy.
Okay. Before you run off, as it relates to the various union heads, right? The president of the unions, is there this sort of crossing boundaries and camaraderie among yourselves as to, as a united front going forward?
We are a united front, and that is why we can celebrate under the banner of the GTUC. In many countries in the Caribbean, you have more than one umbrella body representing various unions. In Grenada, mercifully, we have one umbrella body under which all unions come together. And so there is camaraderie, there is sister and brotherhood, and we do support and encourage each other.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hazard, let me let you go now because I know your members are anxiously waiting to hear you give your maiden speech at Labor Day. All right?
It's going to be a short one.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the public for listening.
Okay, see you in St. Mark. Have a good one.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so folks, I've been talking there with Ms. Daisy Hazard, the president of the Public Workers Union, as to what can be expected today up at St. Mark. That's where the May Day celebrations are being held this year. And, quite a lot of information just disseminated there. Some folks are of the opinion that she sounds angry. I think she's just passionate. I know Daisy very well. She's a very passionate person as it relates to what she does. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
I had to call back again because at the end of Daisy's contribution, she made a comment. And I did speak to her about that personally. If the trade unions and them are so united, why when the government extended the invitation to the TUC to join the government team in the regularization process for those Imani and contract workers, why didn't they join that negotiations, that thing for months? And I heard the PS, and I was saying to myself, this lady cannot be saying the wrong thing. Letters are sent, and they just totally ignore it. If you are so united as you know speaking, even if it was not intended to you, why didn't you all attend it? It's hypocrisy to the highest level.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Folks, it's 8 o'clock. We've got to join the BBC. We may just have an extended version after the BBC. All right. So we'll see you on the flip side of it. That's it for this segment.